Flipping in, the motor kicking in. It's all kind of a weird thing. Oh, I'm going that way. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring Michelin's new Raceline tires. I've been on both the DH and Wild Enduro tires since June. The DH tires have seen many a lap in Whistler Bike Park, and the Wild tires have been stress tested under a number of e-bikes. In today's video, we're going to focus primarily on performance and durability. If you haven't already, please subscribe. This is just the latest installment in my series on tires. I have reviews of the Schwalbe radial tires, as well as my favorite Maxxis options, and reviews for Bontrager and E13. Jensen USA is a big supporter of the channel, where you can find Michelin, as well as Maxxis and Schwalbe. I have affiliate links for them, Hover Air, Industry 9, and more on my channel's page and in the description below. Now let's get into it. First off, an overview of what's special or new about these tires. All the Raceline tires have a few things in common. The Magic X compound was my first big takeaway. Michelin's website does a poor job of explaining this, besides to say that they work better in low temperatures. Next is the new construction. Looking at it, it's no surprise these tires are on the heavy side. Both are 2-ply with thread shield, bead to bead shield, and pinch protection. The only difference I see is that the DH tires get a 120 threads per inch ply, as opposed to the Enduros, which have two 55 TPI plies. I'm not sure if the tread patterns are new, but the 22s and the Wild M's or mixed soft look very similar. Following Maxxis Assegai 2-3 pattern, but alternating 2-2-3. The Wild Enduro MH or mixed hard looks more like a standard hard pack tire, and Michelin recommended I try it out on the rear. This is a bit unusual, as the MH is a wider 2.5 versus the 2.4 on the front. At this moment, their Wild Enduro rear tire is only available as a 29, and since most of my bikes are mullets, that's why I'm riding the mixed hard in the rear. The DH16 tread is more square and moto looking, but with good ramps to keep it rolling fast. Michelin also recommended this tire for the back, but could be used for either, especially in dry and hard conditions. Let's start with the DH Raceline tires. First off, my benchmark is still those Maxxis tires, which are the Assegai front and the DHR2 on the rear. When we're talking about my DH bike, I usually go max grip with DH casing front and rear. Back in Colorado, I would opt for the Max Terra compound on the rear for longevity. But with the demanding and often wet terrain of the Pacific Northwest, I'm happy to trade longevity for grip. And sorry to bury the lead, but I was very impressed with these tires. Everyone knows Whistler is hard on tires, and these saw plenty of rocks and compressions that left my E13 DH wheels in rough shape, and even the front rim needing replaced. But overall, no flats, broken tire casing, or rolled beads. More impressive was the level of grip on rocks that very much matched that of the Maxxis Max Grip. The weights are comparable, and I would say for DH there's no clear winner, but the tread patterns, especially on the front, offer marginally different ride characteristics.
So sorry.
On the subject of front tires, the DH22 delivers. It has great sidewall support, even at lower pressures. And while I managed to get a pretty big dent in my front rim, the tire is still going strong. Traction is very predictable, and especially in the wet, didn't let me down. I wouldn't say it's the level of the Schwalbe radial tires when it comes to soft dirt roots, but when it comes to rock, that Magic X compound offers more grip than the Schwalbe Ultra Soft. When it comes to comparing the DH22 to the Maxxis Assegai, I would probably say the Maxxis wins out on overall cornering traction, but the Michelin does better shedding mud and rolls faster. When mounted up to the rear, the DH16 is at or above my usual DHR2. Rolling speed is good, braking great, and like the 22, the DH16 has held up over a pretty rough season in the bike park. It does look worse for the wear, but I'll take grip over longevity any day. And don't forget to check out Defiers if you need any gear going into the fall and winter. These new riding hoodies dropped today, and using my affiliate link gets you a free pair of socks. Jumping into Enduro tires, there's a little bit more to talk about. The benchmark comparison is still the same, but I will generally opt for the EXO Plus on the front. I find it has enough sidewall support, and I can't say why, but I constantly have a poor experience with the double down casing on the front or rear. On the rear, the MH tire offered a surprising amount of traction, and especially on rocks was pretty great. When things are wet, it definitely feels like a hard pack tire, and I can't say it would be my tire of choice. It also quickly punctured in the center tread, similar to my experience with that Maxxis double down casing. It was nothing a tire plug couldn't fix, which is something I can't say for my last double down DHR2. However, I hit 3 punctures by the time the tire wore out. It did spend most of its time on some rather hefty e-bikes, so that may be part of the issue.
Oh boy, are you okay?
Yeah.
Was that your head? No, I just kind of gave up.
Good save.
For a front tire, the Wild Enduro MS delivered a very similar level of performance as the DH22. However, with the DH22, I felt as though there was an increase in how the casing conformed to the ground, especially in wet and slippery conditions. That could be that I have the DH22 mounted to my DH front wheel because it's the only wheel compatible with the Fox podium fork. Lastly, when talking about the Enduro tires, I have to mention weight. Trail bike or DH, I run the DH casing Maxxis DHR2. It's marginally lighter than the DH16, however, it's also lighter than the Wild Enduro MH, and based on my punctures, that doesn't add up. For the front tires, the DH22 is actually lighter, but that's partially because it's a 2.4 rather than the Maxxis 2.5. For the Wild Enduro MS, it's even lighter than the Assegai in the double down, but not quite as light as the EXO Plus. So it's a really good balance.
Sometimes riding e-bikes just feels really cool. And this is the kind of trail that does a great job.
Final thoughts on the new Michelin Racing Line tires. Well, the DH22 and 16 are an easy recommendation for me. The Wild Enduro MH is a fail, and the Wild Enduro MS is a sure. I find it a little annoying how particular people are with tire size, and I do think it was a marketing mistake for Michelin to go with a 2.4 as opposed to a 2.5. But on the trail, most people won't have an issue. These tires are going to be heavy for some people, but if you like to go fast and hate fixing flats, then Michelin got it right with the DH tires. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. New videos drop every Friday with bonus content most Tuesdays. If you need anything for yourself or your ride, check out Jensen USA, Evo.com, Hover Air, and more. Now get out there, go fast, and take chances. See you next week.
Look at that. Oh.